Got to go over some community stuff. There's a whole hell of a lot of hype and things going on right now. People are really upset. People are really nervous. Launch has not only been exciting, but there's also been some stuff to discuss. So before we get into gameplay, we're going to discuss. There's been a lot of people asking. So I wanted to make sure that I did my due diligence and discussed my opinions. And again, my opinions are my own, and not really indicative of much more than how I see things. I will be objective and subjective. However, there's some things that we need to talk about. So first things first. Got this article out here. A lot of people are upset. Beta restrictions in men in suits. TenTonHammer is they put out an article discussing the post that was put out by Scooter. A lot of people were really upset that they were told to level up and that things changed and whatnot. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but I'm going to give you the key points. March 16th, everyone is being removed from the closed beta, no exceptions. On March 19th, if you pre-order the game, your account will be reactivated to give you access to 4 beta weekends that are coming up in March and April. Information's already out there. Beta will no longer be on a 24/6 schedule. Instead, we'll be running 4 beta weekend events between now and open beta. The first weekend begins March 21st and runs through the 23rd. The full schedule is up on the pre-order site, subject to change. Permanent winter beta testers who have a level 32 or higher character on their account will also have their account reactivated so that we can continue to test high-level content between now and launch. You'll still need to pre-order if you want to receive all these goodies. Stress testers, weekend testers are ineligible for this opportunity, but are welcome to pre-order to continue playing their existing characters. As far as statements go, it's a little washy, and many raised more questions than answers. Scooter was on hand to provide some transparency with a copy of it placed over on Reddit. I think Reddit got it last. I'm pretty sure Wildstar core, and then I grabbed it right from them. What Scooter discussed some way alleviated some fears from players, but it in other areas stoked fires of anger relating to the delivery of this news and justification behind it. Goes in to talk about the executive team, sales, marketing, live, and ops teams. So the executives, we're talking like Donatelli, sales, marketing teams. I don't really know them that well. They do a lot of the stuff for like companies, so I don't have a lot of interaction with them. Live and op teams, that's people like Cougar. I think Donatelli has a little bit to do with that too. And the development teams. What I can claim, this guy says, to be an experienced beta tester, MMO gamer, and lover of the genre. Having only yesterday highlighted the strong arm of publishers and shareholders that ruined launched many MMOs, the rationale attached behind ending the 24/6 beta does not, however, defy any and all logic. There's a mention about executives being placed first on the list. Actually, I think it's just an actual organizational list, like it from top down. I don't think there's a lot of significance in there, so I would disagree. Perhaps it's just me, but the case for the industry, I'd go out and fire all of them, with the exception of Guild Wars 2, every MMO to launch since World of Warcraft has collapsed the moment it launched. Bro, you need to readjust your writing glasses. Guild Wars 2 launch was filled with people not only being banned because of exploits that were told to them by experienced beta testers, but due to not listening to the community, they had a huge attrition of people that no longer play. and could have been things could have gone much differently for them. So, and also, if you're not aware of the fact that servers where people were unable to get into World vs. World, which was one of the hugest draws of the game since there was nothing to do in PvE, you're highly mistaken. So that was something that didn't go so well with me here. What I want to do, I want to go back to this here. I want to make a couple statements. You guys need to know a couple things here from my point of view, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, just like it always is, it's too damn bad. If you're not aware of what's been going on at Carbine, it's been basically 2 community people for a couple months now. A lot of you may be new to the community. A lot of you may not be aware. But as somebody who's been in contact with the community team and having done a lot of stuff with them, they've been alone. It's been fucking David Bass and Anlath. So that's Scooter and Anlath for months now. And I'm not quite sure how many, the exact weeks. But what I do know is these 2 guys have been busting their asses. So when it comes to like community stuff, I'm surprised they even said anything about this at all. They probably made sure to weigh in on this heavily because the marketing and brand team also just got some new people. The executives are going to say what they're going to say. But when it comes down to it, really, these teams come together and they all are going to have a say. I don't feel like the executive decision that came from Donatelli and, Jeremy Gaffney was, we know what's best. They've shown the opposite of that over and over and over again. They listened to the dev teams. I know the live teams probably said, this is what we need for gating. This is what we need for time. Sales marketing said, this is our approach. This is what we need. And then tried to synergize this stuff the best. Now, Carbine has done stuff like this before and launched it. If you guys remember Pay It Forward was an initiative put together by Troy, which had a shit ton of oversight. They launched it as a way to give back to the community. What they didn't realize is that fucking tens of thousands of people were going to submit stuff for a chance to get a beta key. And that's just one of those instances where the sales and marketing and executives were like, ops probably had a big say in how that went down. But community's like, we want to do this, and they did it, even though it was a huge undertaking. So I don't feel like that somehow magically all of a sudden the executives are like, okay, well, this is what the deal is. And that's what this article is trying to get at here. They talked about the fact that people burn out. Producing beta content. Guys, sorry, I also went through this briefly. The beta workforce, free labor I might add, are put on the sidelines for fear that the marketing department's executive that they'll burn out. What absolute nonsense. Again, this is a highly critical article that I really feel is very jaded. I guess that's the best way to describe this. Whoever gathers this data, there's doubt that there are metrics for quantifying burnout, but I'm well aware that development companies take all of this account stuff, and I'm not sure if it's on a graph, some sort of statistical data where it shows this person got in with this guy, they're friends, they played up to this point, then they stopped, or they played for this long. All of this data gets pulled together, and the development teams look at this stuff. So I'm telling you right now that I'm sure they've looked at through their beta periods and said, this is when people have burned out. This is when we haven't seen them log back in. We've seen this many people stay in. this is an actual thing. 4-week period of playing a game you're super hyped up for, when you know the game is not live, it's highly possible to get burnout. Beta testers who continue to play past the 4-week period are seeking a new MMO and have nothing better to play. Well, Wildstar's pretty badass. Are generally attempting to test the game for bugs and exploits. You know, some people like me like to run around and look at every possible wall and try to find a place to get stuck. You guys have seen me do it with the green wall. Are individuals who love the product and are testing playing because they have nothing better to play. Why is it that they have nothing better to play? I'd like to put a fourth one on there, because I am an individual who wants to support Carbine, who actually enjoys testing the game for bugs and exploits, who likes driving feedback to developers. I don't look at myself as some sort of tester who's doing shit for free. If I do my part, one person to do feedback, to write stuff that's objective and subjective, then the development company hopefully does something with that feedback, and we get a game that doesn't suck fucking 4 weeks into it being out. So I'm going to put all of that under the fourth tag here. Guys, I know you're talking in chat. I'm going to get to it here shortly. I'm sorry. When it comes to sales and marketing teams, I can sympathize with the constraints they are working on. Carbine isn't as wealthy or as prominent as ZeniMax or ArenaNet, and so they have not only have to choose their launch window very carefully, but add enough hype time before to market the game within their budgetary constraints. The fact Wildstar isn't launching with a collector's edition suggests to me that they're at the ends of their finances in terms of development coin, based on the fact such box specials are costly to produce and take up significant time to play and orchestrate. I don't believe Carbine have the ability to outlay that sort of money. This one's hit or miss with me. I don't really think that collector's editions became a thing. Probably not because they ran out of money. I mean, we'll see. We'll really see once the game launches, and think, the cards will fall where they lie. I heard on my end from the community part that there was a time thing where basically they knew when they wanted to launch. They had a launch window. They kind of set up all the background stuff. And collector's editions, it's not just the costly part. You got to have, the stuff that you want to put in there. And it didn't make it to the table. I don't think it was a dollar bill thing, but again, we will see. My gut instinct tells me that executives had all the say in these meetings and felt in their experience at Wildstar, based on countless positive press pieces, didn't require further testing to the degree it's having now. That the metrics they've crunched, Wildstar would be a success. Initial follow-up, disgruntled. Frustrating all this. Wildstar had been developed for 5 years. It shows every sign of being the next big thing. If it all comes crashing down as a result of testing schedule due to a myriad of bugs at launch, we'll all know who to blame. Worst of all, gamers love to say "I told you so" and never forget. This is true. Out of all of this is the best part that says I will definitely say I agree. It is the fact that gamers do love to say "I told you so." I was really pumped about Guild Wars 2. I was really pumped about doing what I did for testing for them, and in the end, a couple of my buddies were like, "Told you so, bro." Yeah, you live and you learn. A lot of people are upset because they were told you're going to be able to get into these beta events. And I think what community was trying to do, along with the ops team, was allow people a way to continue to stay in on the weekend beta events if they got to 32 or whatever the deal was. I don't think that had anything to do with the higher ups, to be honest. And if we're going to be like straight up real talk when it comes to this is what you should expect anyways. I don't know why people don't understand this. They've from my experience, March 16th they're going to close down closed beta. This normally happens anyways. Just because they've been public and transparent, that's not closed beta test, alpha test, friends and family, step-by-step alpha QA testing, they all have times where they begin and end, and they're all significant on when they do. Closed beta is going to end. That is the end of closed beta as we know it. Sorry for the phone in the background. They're going to then start marketing beta, as most of us will call it. Marketing beta is exactly that. They're actually going to allow you, if you played before, to get into marketing beta. This is like, you want to talk about executives in marketing. If they had their way, if they were these big, bad, evil, mean fucking people, they would say, no, everybody's got to pre-order. Go look at any, unless I'm wrong, from what I remember, Guild Wars 2, you wanted in on the weekends, you had to pre-order. Like, that's just the way it was. They're saying, you know what? We appreciate our beta testers, those that hit their 32. Cool beans. You don't have to pre-order. You can continue to play. That is a privilege. That is something that I'm guaranteeing community, dev teams, and ops said, you know, this should be a thing. Absolutely. Instead of forcing everybody, because if you've played for that long and you're already 32, you know if you're going to play or not. If I wanted to make the argument for being a executive marketing asshole guy at Carbine, you could say they know if they're going to play or not. Just fuck them. Fuck all those people. Closed beta's done. If you want to play marketing, you got to come pay. They could do this. They could literally say closed beta is done. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. That's it. Come in for the weekends. We'll do some, some stress tests or whatever for fun. That would be it. And then you would get to come in for open beta like everyone else. But they're not. And I've yet to see somebody say this other than myself, so I'm going to keep saying it again and again. They're going to allow you, the beta tester, who is level 32, to continue to play and not have to pay. This is a privilege. You should be saying thank you. It really is a privilege. And this is the way that launches are going nowadays. So, TenTonHammer, my apologies if you find what I have to say rather harsh. But I highly disagree with your article. I think, I don't want to say biased, but it was, I don't think that the person who wrote this article really gave Carbine a fair shake, really knows the Carbine, the way they've been doing stuff. Everything from releasing their own patch notes to community involvement to the fact that they let community people give away beta keys before they gave marketing and press. That is not indicative of a company that's out just for money. That's not the things that you do when you're just trying to make as much money and flip everybody off on your way out the door. They've done nothing but show the opposite. So, first thing down, I'm going to start paying attention to chat before we get into the next one because you guys probably